by DialMidnight. Supportive of the unexpected.
Thanks very much. If you were watching, I don't know, it's about 2 weeks ago now, we had a psychic on here. We had an American psychic to the stars, and the word on the streets was, "Oh, Millsy, you sold us short, bunkum." Okay? I have to say that. This time, I think we may just have cracked it. Would you please welcome Mr. Chris Robinson? You can talk to Chris on 071 757 7000. Before we talk about anything, I'd like you please at home to just watch this piece of news footage.
In the cold light of day, the destruction caused by last night's triple bomb attack was chillingly apparent. Just 6 minutes after a telephoned warning was made to this pizza takeaway, the explosions began.
A friend of ours was across the road in Domino's Pizza and heard the call come through. She thought that they said 4 bombs and her boyfriend thought that they said 3. So they still weren't sure. And as they were leaving, they were crossing this road behind us and the explosion happened just behind them.
Those bombs, chilling bombs in North London, Friday the 1st of October. Chris, tell us your experience of those bombs.
Well, on the Tuesday night, I'd had a dream that there would be bombs go off outside 3 shops in Finchley Road, and I had the same dream again on the Thursday night, and they went off on the Friday. Now, did you contact the police? Yes, I told... When? Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning. Yes. You phoned them, and this is logged. Yes. In the police books, and you said to them there will be... Yes, I said to the police officers I normally deal with there will be bombs in Finchley Road, and I actually asked him if there was an Army Information Office there because I had an idea that there used to be at some point an Army Information Office there. Right, but you gave them a quite exact location. I said it was about between 100 yards and 200 yards north of Finchley Road Tube Station on the Finchley Road. Right, and that was pretty much pinpoint? Yes. So that's logged. That's not a Marilyn Monroe's phoned me and said she was really a man. That's logged. That's actually logged. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now we've got a lot of people. We'll go straight to them and then we'll chat between ourselves. First, we've got Joseph from Stratford. Joseph, you're through to Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
First of all, do the Home Office actually publicly recognise psychic help?
Well, yeah, they recognise me.
Yeah, but do they don't publicly declare that they get help from psychics, do they? Murder inquiries and stuff like that, do they?
Well, I have never had any problem with anybody from the police admitting that I've told them something when I've told them something that's been true. I used to think there was a conspiracy against psychics, but once I started giving accurate information, I discovered there wasn't.
Can I just say, Joseph, from our point of view, from having Chris on the show, the word that we've had from the police is, no, we're not going to come on the show and say, yes, we use this guy. Yeah, but on the other hand, we are going to tell you, yes, he does have contact with us, and he's not a crackpot. Yeah. So that's what the police are saying. Now, there is a police officer, a WPC, who you say contacts you in your dreams. What's that?
Well, the WPC Yvonne Fletcher, who was murdered outside the Libyan embassy, very often comes into my dreams. Now, when she comes into a dream and she tells me something, I know it's right. Okay, she's never misled me. Picture there. We've got Alan from Chingford.
Yeah, hi, Chris.
Hi.
Hi. How did you feel when you were first able to see, like, psychically?
Well, the first one that sort of spooked me was to do with the IRA, and I'd had a dream of where they were staying, and I gave that information to a police officer, a detective inspector at my local police station in 1989, and we weren't sure whether the dream was true, and you never are until it happens. 11 days later, they were arrested where I said they were, and of course it spooked all of us, and that's when I really sort of took off with the police. You've now got kind of a working relationship with the police and the MOD, haven't you? Yes. And what have you done for the MOD? In 1990, in May, I went to an RAF base at Stanmore, and I said to them, you're going to be bombed. I said, and it's anything up to a month's time. And I got myself arrested there, and spent a long time in the police station and at the airbase.
Because they wanted to know.
Because they wanted to know. The police gave me a hard time, and the ministry guys were very nice, but the base was bombed 3 weeks later.
Right.
So I was totally vindicated.
Kelly from Cheam, who I think is a police officer, is that right?
I am actually, yes. I'd like to ask Chris that, do you think with your gift that you have there should be some sort of format or some sort of setup that you would be able to assist police with their inquiries?
Should they be harnessing this energy?
Well, they are. The simple answer to that is they are. I've got a direct telephone number to Army Intelligence if it's a military target, and I have an officer on the end of a phone 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and that has been the position with me for over 4 years. So they are harnessing it.
What's this? Some of these are kind of quite spooky, and you're talking about IRA things, and do you ever get anything kind of nice? Do you ever have any dreams where you think, oh, this good thing's going to happen?
Well, I mean, in dream last night, I picked up a very, very attractive hitchhiker on the way home who wants to go to junction 12 of the M1. I mean, I'm going to go very slowly and hope I find her. Yeah, I mean, you do get nice things, but I think the fundamental purpose of dreams, and we all dream, whether we remember them or not, is to warn us of impending danger.
Right. Gary from New Eddington.
Hi. I want to know, you know, if you're as good as this, how come you're not helping the police in Northern Ireland to solve the crime over there? Because, like, you know, that their type of crime is completely and utterly wicked.
Right, can I just say this? You can't decide what you're going to...
No.
Right. It's not a case of, like, they can fly you over here and say,
well,
right,
first of all,
I
wouldn't need to go to Northern Ireland.
Right.
The problem is how you translate the data you get. Now, when the WPC comes into my dreams, she gives me England postcodes for where the attack will be. And if the postcode is not there, there's no problem. And I look for it to coincide with the other information in the dream. The problem with Northern Ireland is all I get is BT. So I can say to you, sure, there's going to be an attack, someone's going to be shot in BT. But BT is the postcode for the whole of Northern Ireland. So it doesn't help me.
Saying that someone's going to get attacked in Northern Ireland don't really make you psychic, either, does it?
No, not really.
Now, okay, we'll be back with callers. How do you deal with cynicism? Because I'll tell you why. I look around me and I see a lot of faces the same as I saw when we had our last psychic, although not as many of them, I can tell you that. But there are some people here who are sitting here, standing there, am I right? And you're saying, wow, fruitcake. Yeah.
Well,
let's have a straw poll. Who is now standing here saying the guy's crazy and he's making it up? Quite a few.
Yeah, most of them.
And I would guess that's kind of a normal reaction.
Yeah, it is a normal reaction.
So what do you do about that?
Well, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I haven't got to convince the general public that I'm doing this. If I can convince police officers and police officers of quite senior rank that this is happening and this is real and this is useful, I really don't have to worry what the public thinks.
Has nobody out here, because again this cynicism is from a lot of people is quite solid, has nobody here ever had a dream and then the next day something happens? Has that ever happened to you? Yeah, that's happened to most of you. And yet you can't then take that a step further and say maybe the people who can harness that and actually use it. No? Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of faces of people going, what do you mean, dream?
I mean, most of our audience are quite young. Most of them probably don't go to bed until the early hours of the morning, so most of them have lost their dreams anyway.
All right, so you actually prepare and say, I'm going to have a good night's dreaming tonight.
If you want to ask a specific question,
right,
which I can do sometimes, you do get an answer sometimes, and it can be specific, you can address a problem, but what you have to do is go to bed early, get up late, and make sure you don't...
Have a milk drink.
No, probably don't drink anything.
Right.
I mean, just water.
John from Barnet.
Good evening.
Hello, John.
I'd just like to ask your guest if his powers frighten him.
Do you get frightened? Do you ever get freaked out?
Yes, sometimes they frighten me. Yes.
And how do you cope with that? Have you
well,
ever
I
been
ignore
in a
it,
situation,
but I'm frightened.
Have you ever been in a situation where you've had a dream about something really specific and thought, I need to contact this person and
yes.
tell them?
Yes.
And what happens when you do that?
Well, I contact them.
But what if they
say... If I can. I mean, sometimes you can't.
But what about when you do and they say, well, you know, you're a crazy. What happens?
I mean, I had a dream in, I think it must have been June 1990, about 2 MPs going to be killed.
Right.
And one MP had died of a heart attack on the news the next day, and the translation of the dream meant that that was one of them, there would be another.
Right.
And I had...
And you found out who this was,
and I worked out who this person was.
Right, and you contacted them,
and I told the police that a member of Parliament in the Brighton postcode district
was going to be killed by a bomb.
I've read this
in
a car.
In your
okay, and the postcode I had was either BN2 or BN24.
Right, now hang on, somebody then went to this guy and said, hey, we've got a psychic who's quite, and he says you're going to be blown up.
And he says nuts.
Said crazy.
Crazy.
Well, that's the chance that
he lived another 4 weeks.
Oh, right, so it was worth it in the long run then. So that's the chance you take in the long run. It has been great. I think you're marginally ahead of our last psychic anyway on believability. But for now, Chris Robinson, thank you. And here's Wendy Lloyd.
All right, now to